ooh, they just keep giving away the value in these masterclasses. So today we'll be reviewing YouTube masterclasses from the YouTube channels Gillian, Perkins and Marissa, Romero. And we'll see how these two masterclasses based on YouTube content creation and growing your YouTube channel match up against each other, and if there are any valuable takeaways from these YouTube masterclasses, or if it's just one big upsell into their YouTube course. So let's start with Gillian Perkins. Right off the bat, when you sign up for her YouTube masterclass, it takes you directly to a sales page which tries to sell you a very low cost course on video production on a low budget and what you need to get started with in terms of starting your YouTube channel. There is a sales page with text and also a short video with her explaining what the course is about and who it would be for, who would benefit most from it. And there's like, I think, a 15-minute timer in order to get the deal, so to speak. After that, however, she will send you an email in order to get the link to the masterclass, and then she will send you a form, which I didn't notice until after, but she will send you a form that will ask you certain questions based on whether or not this masterclass would be beneficial for you. I think it would be more so for her to collect data on her end to see who is really opting into this masterclass and who she's really attracting. Therefore, her sales pitch would be a little bit more targeted. I think that's really what the reason the form is for, right? But it also could get you thinking about what you really want out of having a successful YouTube channel, and if you even know what your YouTube channel is about. So it also gets you thinking, which is a good thing. Now, when we get into her masterclass is a little under 2 hours. However, 45 to 50 minutes of that is her, what I like to say, fluff. So your introduction, upsell, and your Q&A that some of them have, not all, that they would have had during whenever the webinar was recorded live. And yeah, that took up about the bigger portion of it. So now to the meat of the masterclass, the actual content, which is what I want to review. So she started with a brief outline of the topics that she'd be tackling, which were how the YouTube algorithm works, how to find popular videos within your niche, and the easiest way to double your views. Okay, so before she delved into the 3 topics, she gave a little bit of introduction about herself, and she really delved into why she is qualified to speak on growing your YouTube channel and how YouTube works and how to make it work in your favor. So she went into the fact that she had a 1.5 years worth of research into how YouTube channels perform on the platform, and she didn't do this by herself. She actually had like a digital marketing company, and those people working for her also help with this research. So she used all this research and she applied it to her current channel, and then she packaged that information after getting the results into this YouTube course, and she's sharing just a snippet of that within the YouTube masterclass. So according to her, how the YouTube algorithm works is that it compiles data from viewers and their watching habits, and then it also tests videos based on these profiles and kind of match videos based on viewers and what they would have watched in the past. and they test videos with viewers of different tastes, so to speak, and how much the viewers like these videos. She also makes it a point that YouTube favors your click-through rate and your watch time, and the higher these two factors are, is the more that YouTube would suggest your video and push it out more to more people. And under this topic, she even does a short case study on other YouTubers. In her example, she uses Catherine Manning, formerly known as the Content Bug, to show how she leveraged the YouTube algorithm to help her channel grow. She goes into her second topic, which is finding popular video ideas for your niche, and she has what she calls the FACTS method. F stands for finding your competitors. A is for analyzing the videos that did well for them, and when you do this, you would go onto your competitor's channel, analyze them by most popular, and look for those with a, and you'd look for videos that are less than a year old and have 3 times more the average views for a video on that channel. C would be collect ideas for your own videos. T would be trends. S would be selecting topics that are relevant to your channel. Then she briefly touches on keyword research tools that you could use to help you with this point, and she highlights the one that you should be using, which I will be looking into. And she has another case study that she goes through based on this point, and this case study is on Pat Flynn and how he has viral videos on his channel, even though his average views is much lower than that, and therefore how he would have leveraged using popular videos that are relevant to your channel to increase views. Because as she mentioned in the beginning of her masterclass, is that it's kind of like a perpetuating cycle where you have views which would lead to subscribers, and then more subscribers would lead to more views, and vice versa. She also shows a graph on gaining views and momentum, and how increasing basically just 2 factors would build the momentum on your channel. And the last thing she touches on is how the easiest way to double your views, and that is simply by increasing your click-through rate. And I think that the 3 things that she touches on is very valuable, and you could definitely get something that would help you. If you're a small channel and looking to grow, you could get something that you could start implementing on your channel today from this masterclass. I would definitely recommend it if you are unable to invest monetarily into your channel at this point, which is usually difficult for most people to do, because YouTube is something that takes a lot of time and effort and energy with no reward for a long time. So the next YouTube masterclass is by Marissa Romero, and at the beginning of the masterclass she outlines who this masterclass is for and who it isn't for, and then she goes into the topics that she would be touching on throughout her masterclass, and she alludes to the upsell that she would be doing at the end, and those who choose to buy in with her directly after viewing the masterclass. Her masterclass was about, I would say, an hour and 20 minutes. About 40 minutes of it would have been the upsell, the Q&A, and all the other fluff within it. So it's about the same. And her YouTube masterclass is a bit more fast-paced. However, she has a printable worksheet or downloadable PDF to go along with the masterclass, which I didn't know until after I watched the masterclass, but it will definitely help you while watching it because she talks a little bit fast, so that makes it a little bit harder to take notes. However, the PDF makes up for that, so you only needed to fill in just certain aspects. Like with her 4-step framework, that's the only part where you probably needed to jot down some notes, but basically everything else information wise from all of her slides is in the PDF, at least the major takeaways. So she talked about 3 mistakes that you need to avoid when doing YouTube, and her 4-step framework to having multiple 6-figure business success online with your YouTube channel. And she also talks about why small YouTube channels can potentially make way more money than larger YouTube channels. So the 3 mistakes are basically producing content that you like and not necessarily providing value for your viewers, not being consistent, and not treating your YouTube channel like it's a business, right? And she gives, in terms of showing how a small YouTube channel could make way more money than a larger one, she just shows examples and testimonials from her students, which are smaller channels at the present moment, and how much revenue they were able to generate with their offers online, whether it be through direct sales with either coaching, online courses, or digital products. And her last topic that she touches on is her 4-step framework, and this framework is actually the outline of her online course. So it's 4 steps or 4 phases actually, because within each phase there are several modules which constitutes her course. Her 4-step framework is to define, which is to know who your audience is, to attract, which is having a strategy to attract the correct audience, to amplify, which is to optimize your videos in order to be able to get more views and more impact with the videos that you are releasing, and then to monetize, which is to have an automated system which would be generating leads and sales on autopilot, basically. The one thing that I really liked and enjoyed about her YouTube masterclass is that she started off with an analogy about the 3 little pigs and the wolf, and how that is similar to the way in which we go about trying to build an online business. And I found it very relatable and valuable, and it also kind of is a kind of mind trick, but not really, because if you really think about it, a lot of us out here, because so much information on the internet is for free, we think that we could start a whole online business for free as well. However, an online business is still a business, and nobody in their right mind goes into starting a regular business with no money, right? So it just kind of reiterates that point. And there are a lot of us who have not gone to business school, neither have I, but it's just facts of life and of business. You can't expect not to put in any amount of money and expect money in return. And even though some people would say, well, you could start without any money, even if you started with an asset, that asset had cost money at some point in time. So if you have your smartphone, or right now I'm filming on an iPad, that costs money at some point in time. No, I didn't go out and buy the smartphone or buy the tablet to start a YouTube channel and film videos, but at some point in time I did invest money in that. So within that same strength, I think that she has a good point, and it is a good message that a lot of us need to hear, but we don't want to acknowledge, right? So I will say that I agree with that. However, with that being said, you would need to know, of course, your own finances and where you are, and if you are able to invest in courses like that at that time, which is why right now I'm just reviewing all the free content that you can get that is a bit more streamlined and tailored and would be more valuable than watching hundreds of YouTube videos that are just, things that you're trying to randomly piece together in this puzzle where you can't even see the outcome or the full picture. Now, with that being said, how do they weigh out? How do they match up? I think that because Marissa talks so quickly, it's a bit difficult to catch everything that she's saying. However, she has a worksheet or a printable downloadable PDF that gives you the main takeaways from the YouTube Masterclass, so that kind of balance it out. She doesn't have a replay for it, and during the masterclass itself I couldn't pause it and rewind it. Also, her content had value, but it was more bare bones than Gillian's content, I would say. Gillian's content had a little bit more explanation, a little more meat on the bones. So, however, she didn't have any printable worksheets or downloadable PDFs that you could have taken away. So in that case, if you are attending her masterclass, you need to write everything down. However, she does have a replay available for a limited time, so that you could always watch it over and take the relevant notes where necessary. And just like my previous video where I did a masterclass review with Tips with Trina versus Ashley Christ, I will say that both of them are valuable. However, Gillian's masterclass is just a smidge better than Marissa's, and that's only because the pacing, and I found that I got just a little bit more value from Gillian than from Marissa. However, both are still valuable, and both have things I think people may need to hear or need to take in and get as much good, streamlined, free information that you could get before you start investing. Try things out and keep working towards your channel and improving yourself. That's the only way that you and your channel will grow. So if you like this type of review content on YouTube courses, and I intend to do other types of courses in the future, please let me know below, and you could check out other videos in the playlist right here, and I'll see you in the next video.